Can I hear an hola? Hola, USA. Hello, everybody. It's me again, I know. Buen provecho a todos. I'm very happy to be here again. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. It's a beautiful, beautiful day for surprises. I'm going to be moderating the Hola USA panel today because that's what we do. We go from being panelists to being moderators, from being moms and daughters and sisters and girlfriends and all of those things. So today I'm going to be presenting three amazing women, and I know all of us are amazing women, but these three are really amazing women. And the reason why I say that is because they're not only famous, they have their following, they're beautiful, they're smart, but they're also business women. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from them, and I think all of us are business women somehow. So let's hear from them, and let's hear what they have to say about how they have used their social media, how they have used their knowledge and expertise and their audience to build very successful businesses. So I'm going to say hello first to Camila Alves. Give it up for her. She's the founder of WomenOfToday.com, co-founder of Just Keep Living Foundation, partner and chief brand director at Yummy Spoonfuls. I know that we're trying them. They're so good. So happy to have you here. Have a seat. Thank you. And I promise you, I did not send them a memo saying what color they needed to wear. You'll see why. It has nothing to do with Kundalini Yoga. My next partner, my next panelist, it's Elizabeth Gutierrez. You all know her. She's fabulous also, actress and founder of Eli Beauty by Casia Cardoso. Give it up. Bienvenida. ¿Ves lo que les dije? They follow the rules. And then third panelist, and a very wonderful, funny, beautiful woman, Fernanda Romero. She's an actress, a singer, producer, and founder of Vita Perfume. And she smells really good.
She really does smell good. She does.
I'm not making that up. Thank you for all of you for being here. I'm super excited. I think this is going to be a wonderful conversation. I want it to be very informal. Just everyone knows that I'm not very formal. And I want to know your stories. I want to know what you're all about. I want to know what you've been through. I want to know how you got to where you are. And I want to know how you keep it together. And why you chose to wear white.
I don't know. We're promoting peace today, yes. So peace.
Yes. I love it. Very much needed right now. I didn't get the memo this time.
I know, this is weird. I think we think alike, guys.
We're connected in some way, right?
Like we're putting that good energy out there. Yes. I'm feeling it.
I love that. So Camila, let's talk about your business. Let's talk about what you have done, what you have accomplished. But before we go there is something that we all want to know. We want to know where you come from. We want to understand how you got to this country, because we think, and this is Anna's fault, we think that your story is very moving, but you're not alone in that. There's plenty of women and people here that have gone through similar processes.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of us coming from other countries and pursuing a dream go to some form of kind of the same story, right? In different levels. But, you know, I'm from Brazil, born and raised, and have an aunt that lived in Redondo Beach, California, just up the road from here. And, you know, they invited me to come visit, and I got on the plane. I was 15 years old, and I remember like it was yesterday. I got on the plane. I had a suitcase full of books because I was going to school, right? But I looked at my mom, and I said, I don't think I'm coming back. And she looked back at me without, you know, a deep breath or anything. She just looked me straight in the eye and went, I know you're not. Wow. And I was like, okay, so I guess we're on the same page here, I guess. But I came to visit and ended up staying. My aunt was a model when she was younger, and she had this vision of me being a model, but I was really a tomboy. Like, I never wore lipstick or like dress up, nothing like that. When I got here to the United States, she took me to these modeling agencies, and she dressed me up in this really tight gold dress and put lipstick on, this big high heels. I barely knew how to walk on it. And she took me to all these agencies, and one of the agencies at the time was Elite Models. And they say, yes, we want to work with you, so you don't need to go back to Brazil. You're going to stay here. I don't know if any of you kind of went through that industry, but it doesn't really happen like this overnight. And I come from a simple family in Brazil. We always had everything we needed, but not necessarily enough to support, family there and family here in the country, especially with the dollar exchange, right? So I had to figure out a way to support myself here, and I didn't speak a word of English. When I first moved here, all I know how to say is, hi, my name is Camilla. How much is this? And I'm sorry, I don't speak English. That's all I knew how to say it. So not knowing the language, not knowing anybody here except my aunt, I started cleaning houses. Because we grow up in Brazil with my dad. My dad always said, it doesn't matter if you're a queen, you need to know how to take care of your things, because what happens if your staff doesn't show up, right? Right?
Wow.
That's a good one.
I hope you're tweeting that one.
Yeah. So I knew how to do that, so I started cleaning houses. And I did that for quite some time, and I'll clean houses during the day, and I'll go to English school at nighttime. In the high schools, they have these free classes that you take. And so I started learning a little bit of English. Then I went and started working in a Mexican restaurant because it was really close to Portuguese, and the menu was all numbers. So I could say number 1, number 2, okay. And then I kept, trying to learn more English, and as time passed by, then I upgraded to a more fancier restaurant, Italian restaurant. And I remember I used to be the hostess, and I was going to quit that job because I was making more tips at the Mexican restaurant. And the owner of the restaurant said, you're not quitting. And he started cussing. I mean, he never cussed me before. I was like, what's going on here? And he goes, well, you see Ruben. Ruben was a guy from Mexico that started as a busboy, and he became manager at the restaurant. And he said, if Ruben can do it, you can do it. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And I said, if you be patient with me, I can try to work it out. So he put me as a waitress. And I remember the first week I was working, and somebody at the table go, I would like some OJ. And I was like, OJ? And I run to the back and go, do we have OJ? Do we have OJ? And the waiters look at me like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, just, do we have some?
Yes, we do.
But within, a month and a half working there, I became Employee of the Month and was learning. And that was really a moment in my life that really kind of, all the people and stuff just show me a very different perspective about, you just push it through. You just figure out. You just keep pushing, right? So from that, I then was able to go to New York and meet with agencies there. And an agency there took me, the last agency I remember, I was 19 at the time. So for 4 years, I was cleaning houses, working restaurants, going from one to another. I used to work when I was doing the Mexican restaurant and the Italian restaurant. I used to work on the first shift and then drive to the Italian one, change in the car, put the sit down, change in the car, and run to, punch in at the Italian restaurant. Save enough money and started, went to New York. And I remember I was 19 years old. I was, had my little portfolio under my arms going to those meetings. And they all say no. All of them say no.
New Yorkers.
Right?
Sorry.
And I remember, at that point, I had a meltdown on the streets of New York. I was crying because I was like, I hadn't seen my dad in 4 years. I hadn't seen my brother in 4 years. And I was just like, wow, I left everything I knew to stay here for this. And, this is it. It's not going to happen, right? Nobody's taking me in. It's over. What am I going to do? Remember, I have to go back and do what, right?
And how did you overcome rejection? That's a very good point, because that's probably the toughest thing about trying to put yourself out there or starting a business or a blog or whatever it is that you're doing?
Do we ever really overcome rejection? You know what I mean? Like, for real, like, we get rejection, like, every day on everything we do. And I think it's just a feeling that you just have to learn to just, instead of coming in, it's just got to come in and bounce back. You know what I mean? It just hits you and bounce back. I think that's the mentality that you have to understand is that, and some rejections are actually positive. You know, sometimes you get rejection on things and you have to know, well, hold on a second, why do I keep getting rejection for that? How can I learn from that? Yeah. But the less agency took me, and I moved to New York and started my modeling career, and then it goes on. The story goes on.
I love that story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
Voila.
I'm obsessed with
rewarded you.
process because I think oftentimes we talk about results and we highlight results and we celebrate results, but we forget the process. And that's why I think, you know, you see these 3 beautiful ladies up here, and 4, I'm sorry. And then, you know,
Yes.
self-love.
Absolutely.
Of course, self-love.
And then,
Embrace
but
it.
you don't know all the things that you have to go through to get to where you are. And speaking of which, Elizabeth, can we talk a little bit about, I mean, you just launched your first big business venture, Ellie.
I know. It's
Ellie
very
Beauty.
exciting. It's a lot of work, but finally to see it done, it's very rewarding, you know. And like Camila, I come from a Mexican family that, you know, migrated to the United States. I'm from LA, so I'm super excited to be here today.
LA
And,
girls.
yes, I'm an LA girl. And yes, my career started as an actress, but just like I'm sure everybody has gone through rejection. I did also. Like Camila said, you get a lot of no's, and you almost want to stop and say, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But I think at the moment you're ready to quit is when things start happening, you know. And I remember my brother, which is here today.
She brought the whole family with her. I love that.
Of course.
Hola, brother. Hola, sister.
They're never with me, so I had to bring them. I had to make them part of me, you know. And I remember my brother said, just hang in there, because I called him. I'm like, I can't do this, you know. They keep saying no, you know. I can't do this anymore. Maybe I should just go and get another job, you know. And he's like, just hang in there, and just, you know, do one more year and see what happens. And that year just like completely changed my life, you know. And so I started my career, and I was pregnant, actually. I found out I was pregnant with my first child when they gave me my first soap opera. So imagine that dilemma. I was like,
Wow.
okay, finally I'm making my dreams come true, but here I have this issue of my pregnancy, you know, and obviously that was a very important part of my life. So I went through it. I sat down with the executive producer. I said, listen, it was un antagónico, which is one of the main characters in the series, in the novela. So I'm like, listen, I have this issue. You know, it's not an issue, actually, it's a blessing, but for you it might be an issue, because here I am supposed to look all sexy in this novela and come out and be the, you know, femme fatale, and, you know, and I'm like, and I remember doing this scene that, I'm walking out of the swimming pool in a bikini, and I was like, I think 4 months pregnant, imagine. And I remember asking someone from production, I'm like, do I look fat? And they're like, are you serious? But they didn't know, and I did know that I was pregnant. They didn't know, so I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I guess I can still, you know, look sexy, I guess, in this bikini. So it turned out to be a very, very big blessing, because from when my son was born, my career took off. Thank God. I mean, I didn't stop working. There was opportunities and opportunities, and when my kids finally grew up and needed my attention, I felt like I needed to be a mom. But I also needed that part of being a woman, a part of, you know, that little girl that had hopes and dreams and wanted to be independent and wanted to, you know, to make her kids proud, make her family proud, make her partner proud. You know, I wasn't cut out to be, and never, my mom can tell you, I always wanted more and more. I'm not going to be home. My mom, my mom has 7 kids, and she gave up her life to raise her children, and I admire her for that, because I have 2 and I go crazy with my 2. I don't know how she did it. And I ask her, I'm like, Mom, you probably let, everybody raise each other, right? And she's like, are you kidding me? She's like, no.
I never slept. Yeah.
She's like, no, but seriously, it's like I go crazy with just 2, and I admire, my mom for so much, for just giving up herself and just, dedicating her life to us, and showing me how to take care of my family, and the importance of family, because I think a lot of that has been lost, and you can be a businesswoman. I feel weird even saying that, because I'm just,
You are.
I am now, yes. But you can do that and make your dreams come true, and also take care of your family. One thing doesn't, take away the other. So
And be sexy and beautiful.
and be well, it takes
the hard
a
part.
whole team.
Right.
I don't look like this every day, so
Come
just,
on.
oh, come on, no. But anyway, I just found something, a passion that I that can also fulfill my dreams, and that I was still busy, and that I still felt like I was, giving back to the people that have always followed me. So I came up with this. I like being a woman. I like looking at myself in the mirror and accepting myself. Nobody likes rejection, of course, but I think as you mature, you learn how to deal with it better, which is the important thing. You learn what things are important, and where to focus your energy, and where not to. So it's taken a lot of years, a lot of headlines, a lot of chismes, a lot of stories that maybe aren't true, but you become very thick-skinned, and you become sort of like overprotective and protector with your own family, and with who you really are.
But that, I mean, if you look at the upside of that, maybe that also gives you the confidence that you need to believe in yourself.
It does. I'm sorry, Camila. And you almost, to me, what motivates me is to show my kids, because I'm always constantly telling them, if it's planted in your heart, then you're able to do it. If God planted that seed in your heart, don't be afraid. What's the worst thing that can happen? No. I became a flight attendant in the search of wanting to find myself. I was sitting at an office and just bored out of my mind, getting a paycheck. I was, I hated it. And I'm like, I need to do something. This isn't me, So I got online, I applied, and little did you know, they accepted me. I'm like, okay, I had to take this 3-hour test, which I ended up taking in an hour because I overstudied so much that I'm like, I either failed it or I passed it with like straight A's. So, I moved to Chicago for a while. I became a flight attendant. The first day I was stationed out of Oakland. The first day I called my brother again. I'm like, my brother has always been like my father
He's on speed
figure.
dial.
Like, yes. So I called him. I'm like, I hate it. He's like, just come home. You tried it already. And there I go. I grabbed my stuff. But you know what? I never stayed with that inside me of what would it have been. I tried it. I did it. So what? I spent 2 weeks in Chicago. I met wonderful people. I did it. I know what it's like now. No one has to tell me about it. And I think that's what's important about life, that you go out and you try it without being afraid of being a failure, because there's another dream to fulfill,
And speaking of which, I want to talk to Fernanda a little bit about trying things, because this lady has done everything. Like, she's a singer, a producer. She's also a comic, if you want to call it somehow, because she's done
I like
a lot
comedy,
of.
sometimes. No.
She's very funny, and then she's also a businesswoman. Can you talk to us a little bit about what is it that you love the most of all of those, if there's one, and how do you choose which talent to put out there at a certain time, and why?
Why? Well, I think I've done all that stuff because I've been fearless. I think I consider myself as a go-getter. I feel like fear is the worst enemy for us. I feel being a woman, also we have our own challenges in society. I get sometimes men to tell me, you should chill, you're so strong and all that. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm an independent chick in this world. What do you want? And that could be a plus. Sometimes people get intimidated, but I'm grateful for that. And I think everybody we have that inner strength. And that has helped me to be diverse and to really experience all this, which is being the entertainment business, which I got into by accident because I actually came in this country because I fell in love. In a vacation, in a stop sign, I'm not kidding, I met this guy, and my mom was driving. I wasn't even able to drive a rented car. So 2 of my friends from Mexico City came, and we were going to the LACMA, and I met this guy. It was like weird. We were lost. But he was cute. That was a plus. So great. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, where's the LACMA? Anyway, short story, I end up dating this guy for 3 years, back and forth from Mexico and here. And he came to the point, I used to be a singer in Mexico, and I was like, no more singing. I need to do. And my parents don't like the entertainment industry. They just don't get it. They don't care. I'm like, Mom, I was on, with so-and-so. She's like, oh, that's great. They don't get it.
I'm on the YouTube. They're like, what is that?
They don't get it, period. I'm like, Kevin Bacon, it's big. You used to watch it, right? Footloose? Okay, yeah, I like that one. Great. Anyway, I end up dating this guy. I come to the States, and I study fashion design and merchandising. And I love it. I always was like, well, what am I going to do? I wanted to be a biologist. My parents were like, no, you're going to die of hunger. Forget it. It's not good in Mexico. I'm like, okay, well, I always like fashion, and I always read magazines, and I see all these women.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I'm an old person.
Read
like
Hola and all of that. Yeah.
Sí, ay, la Hola, mi abuelita.
Lola, Lola.
And my mom, Jesus, todos los chismes, toda la realeza. And I was like, oh my God, Carolina de Monaco, she dresses so beautiful.
She just turned 60, yeah.
And she's gorgeous. And the daughter, anyway, we can talk this forever. But anyway, so that happened. And I ended up moving here and studied fashion design, started designing with this guy, ex-boyfriend. But we started, yeah, he's an ex-boyfriend.
He doesn't have
now.
a name.
Now there's many more. And I'm single. Anyway.
Oh, she's looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I am hoping. I'm single, and yes, don't get scared. I'm not that aggressive. Anyway, the point is, after that, yes.
There's someone back there raising their hand.
Okay, good. We'll talk about it later. Thank you. Yeah, Instagram.
There's 3
chat,
men total.
Yeah. Technology
I'll
is with
connect
us.
you guys. I'll make sure this happens.
Camila, please.
Viva Brazil.
Brazil has my back. Thank you. So I started designing, and from designing, honestly, I was a fit model. I wasn't modeling, nothing like that. And I used to try the jeans so many times, but I was always behind the scenes. The line starts to do really well, and I used to be dressing celebrities for the red carpets. And I was like Cameron Diaz and all these people, but I never saw myself in front. I did it, I was like, whatever. But what happens? I break up with a guy. And then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to go to Mexico. What am I going to do in Mexico? I don't know. And I didn't want to leave. My parents are kind of controlling. Oh, I hope my mom and dad don't see this. But you guys are a little bit.
They're not on Facebook?
Pero familia conservadoras, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Don't go like this. I was a little frustrated. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I break up with a guy. I'm like, what am I going to do? Somehow I get into modeling, and from modeling comes a transition. I meet one of these casting directors, which she's very popular here within the Latino community, who's Blanca Valdez. She's like, have you ever acted? I'm like, sure. She's like, okay. And I book my first job, a novela with Telemundo. And then from that goes on. And then I book a film. I have no idea what I was doing, girls. I was all instinct.
But you were following your heart, and you were just saying yes. You were saying yes.
I guess we all actors in real life. Do you know what I mean? We are. When you believe it, and I was like, I didn't want to go back to Mexico. I always like the entertainment industry, but I feel also that ignorance is a bliss. Because I was meeting with people that I didn't know what was going on. And then from that, I got another movie with Jessica Alba, and I remember things like, have you been on a harness before and you're dying? Yeah, of course. Harness all the time. Let's go. Okay. After the whole freaking harness, and I remember Jessica, she's crying and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna die for real because I'm suffocated. And she's like crying, and I'm like,
That's how good of an actress you are.
I
You're
was-
actually going to
I
die
was
for
being
that
present.
role.
Yeah, of course. I'm doing Meisner. I'm like, oh, I'm still in this character. I'm like, they're like, the director's, Scott, are you okay? Yeah, whew, I'm fine. I'm gonna take a breathe, you know. I'm coming back. I was like, I'm dying. Anyway, from that, oh, my manager's sitting right there, by the way. I didn't tell you this, but I promise, I'm a good actress. I am right now. I'm studying.
She's paying the
I
bills.
did.
She's still in LA.
I
so
did.
Something's
After
working
that.
out.
Gosh, guys, yes. I think it's just being fearless in a movie.
Saying
But do you
yes.
also feel like, because I think it's a theme going on here of,
Yeah.
rejection or knowing yourself and believing and, going for it fearless. But do you feel like because you knew who you were, that you knew yourself? Did you feel at that point that you really knew, okay, I know who I am,
Yes.
and therefore I can do
That. Anything.
Right.
And I feel, sometimes I forget that. I feel now with everything and rejection, because actors, we go through a lot of rejection. Starting a new company, too. It's like, what will people think? Or are they going to judge me? Or things like that. Always being in the eye of the entertainment industry. You're always, like, thinking like that. But I feel when we're connected within ourselves and you know what you want, the universe just happens. And
It's like
that's
that
what
little
takes
seed that
me.
you were talking about.
Yes.
It's there.
And
Let
that's
it
what
grow.
takes me to Vita Perfume, which is my line. And it started with one of my best friends, Pamela Salcedo, who's Mexican. And I know her for so many years.
It's not another ex-boyfriend, right?
It's not an ex-boyfriend. Thank
She
God.
learned. She learned.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. Let's not get onto that
So
subject.
there's so also something that the three of you have in common. You have
Yes.
started businesses with women that you respect and admire.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about that, Camila? Because I know you've done different things, but Yummy Spoonfuls is what we have been testing out here. We had you at We'll Grow Familia. I know you're very proud of that. And you work with another amazing woman. And so does Elizabeth, and so do you with your brand. Can you talk a little bit about working with other women? When do you realize that you have the talent, you have the seed, you have what you need to start the process, but you don't have it all. You're just one person, so you may need to rely on somebody else's strength to help with your balancing your weaknesses.
No, absolutely. There's no way for you to know it all, to do it all, to be the expert on everything. Is that, there's no such a thing. I had different business throughout my life, and I worked with my mom. I had a business with my mother for over 10 years. And now talking about a challenge there.
What was it? I want to know. What business?
I hope my mom's not watching
You're
this.
still talking to each other?
No, I'm just messing around. It's amazing. But, we had a business in the fashion industry. We did QVC. We did the whole thing for over 10 years, So it's kind of run a thing with me of working with, being a partner with another woman, right? And now with Yummy Spoonfuls, it's been really a blessing to be able, I was going to go on this journey on my own. I was just going to do it on myself. I was like, head down, I'm doing this. And then in the process, got introduced to Agatha. And it was like, meeting this woman who's been in this journey. She has done Yummy Spoonfuls for over 9 years. And she really started with the passion and knowing that this is, why is all this bad stuff out there? Why? She's from Africa, and she comes from humble beginnings as well. Her family is farmers. My family are farmers. We really understand the connection with real food, real things. And it's amazing because you get different strengths in different areas. And without that combination, magic doesn't happen. So really the magic happens right in the middle where you go, okay, what do you bring? What do you bring? How can we really level that up and make it magic?
That's great. And you guys are making magic because you're actually feeding kids natural foods, real ingredients, and healthy things. And that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can talk all day about that, so I'm not going to do that. But, the main thing really is it's not just about organic. We like to say that we are beyond organic. We're homemade food, made the way you would if you could, if you had the time, if you have the means to really sit there and make the food every day for your kids. We just did a study, and I'm becoming a very nerdy person with all the science. And I'm becoming that very annoying person that you don't want to sit to next on the dinner table. I told my husband, I'm like, when I start doing that, just kick me under the table because it's annoying. Because, I was just talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, don't feed your kid this. Don't give your kid that. Because you start learning.
What are you doing?
Yeah, because you start learning all these chemicals and all these pesticides and toxins and lead. Do you want to give lead? Do you want to give poison to a child? So literally now how I explain to my kids, they go, we want this. And I was like, okay, you can have that, but it's basically mama grabbing a spoon and putting poison in it. Do you want it? And they're like, oh, no, thank you. We don't want it. So but it's amazing to see, when you get the science, when you do the research, deep research, you understand how bad it really is. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because kids being sick because of eating the wrong things, if parents not knowing that these things are there, it's unacceptable.
And I thank you for that. That's consciousness, and that's great.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to have to go get some of that for my 2 kids and scare them, too.
They're being sent right now.
Yeah,
The Andres are working on
baby.
that. And can we talk a little bit? We don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately. I want to stay here all day with
I know,
you guys.
we talk
but
a lot, right?
I
We
want
all
to make
talk a lot.
sure. I want to make sure that we can talk a little bit about Eli Beauty, because you just launched your brand, and I'm
Yes,
very
I'm
proud of
super
you. I'm very excited. So show us what you got.
This is the kit I made up. It's a line of 12 products, but I also wanted to make a starter kit for people who are starting to take care of their skin. But yes, as you said, I started this brand with Cassia Cardoso. She's a well-known esthetician. She's Brazilian, actually. And
You got a good one.
I got a good one. I got all your secrets. I got them. But she's amazing. And yes, definitely, she has her strength. I'm a woman, and I like to look good, but I didn't know how to take care of myself or what ingredients. So she plays a big part in this. And we did this line of 12. They're all natural ingredients. It's all for skincare. I've got you guys a little something so you guys can try it too.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
but
so
I'm
much.
actually
We'll
launching
post.
right now.
We'll post.
Thank you, honey. The website Eli with Y Gutierrez.com, and that's where you can go in and yeah,
Sexy
that's
mama.
like
That's hot.
I know. Start following.
Okay, show
Let's-
that baby
let's support
photo
me.
behind. That's amazing.
thank you.
Pregnant?
We all look good.
I mean, hello.
In
No,
in
that's
photos.
hot.
In
I'm
photos.
sorry, that's hot.
Let's talk a little bit about Vita perfume. Tell us where to find
Oh,
it. What
Vita.
is it all about? We have
Okay.
like 5 more minutes, so give it up.
Okay, Vita perfume is a oil lime candle that is it's inspired in the elements of nature, and it's matched with a precious stone, and it brings your inner goddess connecting with the law of attraction. And this is just started pretty much like 2 friends really playing with energy and what you put out in the universe. And it's 4 of my favorite scents that I wanted to share with everybody. And with your signs, everything has been studied. Pamela, my partner, has done all that study, and we match with every stone. And it's your intention, what you put out there, and to embrace that inner goddess, because we all have that power within us, and what we put out there, we can make it happen. So I wanted to share that. That's my hippie boho side. So I wanted to do
love
that. Yes.
It smells really good.
Thank you.
Do we have time for questions? Okay, great. So I'm going to open it up for questions because these ladies know a thing or two. Don't be shy. Come on.
Go, Camila.
Here we go.
No,
we got
I'm
one
just
question
laughing
over
because
here.
I mean you put 3 Latina women to talk about their
4
lives.
hours.
I mean, we need a whole day here.
I should have worn tennis shoes,
Has
right?
it been an hour already? Really? And I was
I
scared to
know.
come
Oh
up
my
here. I'm like,
God.
oh.
I know, yeah. She was like, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, everything.
Hi, lovely all. Thank you for inspiring. The question is for Elizabeth Gutierrez, and the reason for is because I saw Protagonista de Novelas, and that's your stardom. You were second place, and I know that it might have been disencouraging at the time, but what made you to continue to pursue your dreams? Like, that could have been like, oh my God, I'm never going to make it, but you actually are more famous than probably the people that won first place. So that was my question to you.
Thank you. Wow, that's been a long time, huh? I went into that show not even knowing. I grew up in LA, so I watched more American shows and Spanish shows. So for me to even go in there, it was already like, okay, I had no idea what it was. I'm like, let's do it. But I used it as a personal experience. I wasn't going in there to compete. I think the most important thing is sometimes a winner isn't necessarily the ultimate winner. It's you yourself, what you take with yourself as an experience. As I went in there and I really knew that acting was my passion. So I could have gone in there and thought maybe it's not. So what I did was that impulsed me to go and really prepare myself. That was just a little taste, but I came back to LA. I took classes with a director here in Los Angeles. It was another type of acting. So when I went back to Miami, and I still got rejected, but I was a little more sure of myself. I took care of my craft. I prepared myself because, like Camila said, I knew what I had to offer. I knew that I didn't like comparing myself to anyone, and that's one thing that we all have to do. We're all individuals. We all bring something different to the table, and you have to know that to be in this business. So thank you for following me
That's great.
since then. Thank you.
More questions over there in the back? Here comes the mic.
Hola, my name is. Oh, that's weird. I can hear myself.
Hola, weird.
Yes, that's my name. Weird. Hola, my name is Laurita Tellado, and I'm a blogger, freelance writer, influencer, and as of 2014, the founder of a nonprofit called the Laurita Spina Bifida Project to, first off, to try to raise public awareness of spina bifida, which I was born with and have lived with for 30 years, and also to connect people with spina bifida across the globe, which we've started to do using our Facebook page and social media, in anticipation of launching a website. So I've connected with people in countries in Europe, Africa, Latin America, etc. My question to all you ladies really is, as a blogger and even from a young 10-year-old girl, I would write letters to like celebrities, public officials, politicians, etc., trying to bring awareness to the cause and really trying to find someone to be like an ambassador or spokesperson. Say like Jerry Lewis has been for the past 50 years for muscular dystrophy, everybody knows about it. So, but really finding very little success when it comes to, making the right connections and stuff. What would you recommend to somebody whose brand has kind of been, it's over 20 years really, but really just starting in the nonprofit industry and in trying to, get people more hyped up about this?
So what I can say to you, Matthew and I have our own foundation that we started over 8 years ago. And we slowly grew that foundation. We are all over the country now, which is after-school programs called the Just Keep Living Foundation. So as you know, I don't have to tell you, that world, it's really, really hard. It's extremely hard because you're asking people to do things all the time. And it's a weird thing to ask people to donate, give me your money, give me your time, give me your attention. But the reality is that if you are super passionate about it, which you are because you experience yourself, right? You know how important it is what you are doing. You just have to keep digging. You got to keep going deeper, And I have those moments where I sit there and I go, how can this be bigger? How can this make things? But it's not about, when I say make it bigger, it's not about making it more famous or more successful. It's how can I reach more of those women that need help? So if you just laser focus on that, you will end up finding ways to come around and become very relevant. Does that help?
That's very good advice.
Oh my
Yeah?
God, yes,
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's
I admire you.
two more questions. One over there, one over here.
Oh, hi, my name is Jorge Narvaez from Reality Changers. I have a question. Anybody want to answer this? But how do your significant others empower you as bloggers, as women at home? And what do they think about what you're doing?
Gosh, I'm single. That's
You have
the
to
answer.
start envisioning it. You have to start thinking about
I
it.
put all my oil, but now there's, I need quality versus quantity. So it's like, yeah, I'm working on that.
We'll get
one.
back to you on that one.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I will, but these women.
You two have very powerful husbands with their own careers.
I'm sorry,
How
I was
does your
trying to find out who was talking and I lost.
Yeah. So
What was it?
how does your significant other support you, and what do they think about the businesses that you're have entered, and how do they feel about it?
Wow, well, I've been with him for this year 15 years, and we started when we didn't have anything. We were both supporting each other. We were both eating tuna and trying to pay our bills at the beginning. The most important thing was paying our rent, and our dates were renting movies and watching movies and reading books on acting. So we definitely supported each other, and we still do. And with this launching, he's completely supportive, because he wants to empower. He likes empowering women, and that's what I mean. It's like you have to make yourself proud, but you also have to make those around you proud. And I think admiration in a relationship is definitely something that has to be.
What is your experience?
I think the answer to that is purpose. Like, if you have a purpose, right, and if you're doing it for the right reasons, if your men or your women do not support you on that, then you're with the wrong person. And that's it.
Woo. We'll work on your Kundalini energy later on if that's the situation. Don't worry, we gotcha. We have one more question over there.
Hi, my name is Paula. I've been a blogger for 6 months, so I'm brand new.
Yes.
But
Welcome.
thank you. I am a mom, and I blog about motherhood. And I guess my question will be for Elizabeth and Camila. How do you balance work, fame, and the kids?
Well, I have a little one waiting for me in the room, so they're always, I'm sure you're very involved with your kids too, but my kids are always part of me, always traveling. I always make time to be with them, but also to make them part of this. It's very important, especially for my daughter, to see a working mom, a mom that follows her dreams, a mom that wants to grow. I really want her to see that and to grow up around this environment, so she's not afraid and she can do anything she wants. So they're definitely always, when I was doing the line, she would go with me to the lab and sit there, and she'd probably be bored, but she would do it, and I would have to go to meetings and she would sit there. So definitely, I mean, and I would run to my son's baseball game. As a matter of fact, I was jumping up in joy because today I missed my son's first home run. So, but I made sure I posted something, because it's so important for my kids to know that even though I'm not there, I'm present. Even though physically I'm not, I'm definitely present, and I'm definitely proud of them, and I'll always be there to support them no matter what.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, gosh, I take tips from anybody, if you got some. Because I have 3 kids. I'm right in the middle of it. I got a 4-year-old, I got a 7, and an 8. So I'm back to back. You know, and my nights end really late, and my mornings start really early. So, you know, I think priority, like if you prioritize what's most important for you. So for me, it's always my family. So that comes first. I cannot tell you how many times I'm late for conference calls. I'm late for, you know, things that work, but I don't feel guilty because I'm giving attention to my main priority. And then planning, if you can plan as much as you can. Organizing, I have a big calendar on my wall in the kitchen, and it's huge. You too? And it's huge. And you know, everybody's got different colors. So that way everybody knows what everybody's doing on the days, so we can plan and go ahead. So I have that 1 month, and then on the side I have 2 small ones that have the next 2 months. So we can have a very visual thing of what's going on. So I think prioritizing and trying to plan as much as you can.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm not a mom, so
I'm taking notes.
Don't be scared.
I'm
It's
taking
okay.
notes.
Don't be scared.
No, it's
It'll be
wonderful.
okay.
I just admire you a lot. I think the 3 of you are amazing. I really thank you for being here today. I think it's been great to hear from you, how you have accomplished all the things that you have done, and to see that it is okay to have many different talents and to focus in on all of them at a certain period of time. You just have to know how to do it and ask for help. And work with friends or whoever you admire that knows a little more than you.
You said something that I need help. I'm going to reach out for help from you guys right now,
There you
okay?
go.
Because as you said, you just started doing, you know, this in 6 months. I'm new to the whole, you know, to this world of social media and blogging and all of that. I really was really late on getting on.
Yeah.
And I need help, okay? This is the help I need. I need you all to go to the site, Women of Today, take a look what I'm doing, and write me and tell me, like, I like this, I don't like that. Change this. This doesn't work, Camilla. Okay, so like I'm reaching out to, so you guys have experience on this, I don't. So getting that, give me feedback.
You're gonna get the best feedback ever, so that's really wonderful.
And I just want to say something really quick. I want to thank Anna and everybody here for doing this, for putting this together, for bringing all of us together, because I think this is so powerful, and this is what unity it is. And I think it's sometimes, you know, we have to work together and embracing each other, not pushing each other down. We're in this together, and it's amazing. So thank you so much for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And as if this was not enough, because these women are blowing my mind right now with everything you've done, we have a very special guest that came all the way here to help a friend, and I'm very honored to call her a friend, and I thank her so much for being here. Roselyn. Roselyn Sánchez, mi compatriota. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. She didn't get the memo either.
But you guys
It's good.
kind of got into the blue.
I know, we got into the blue.
This
Dame un
is
beso,
really,
muchacha.
actually, oh my gosh, look at this.
Muchas gracias. Siéntate por aquí. So this is a little surprise that Hola USA brings to you, because I want to talk about one more topic. We have 10 more minutes, and that is imperfections. Let's talk about that. I'm going to be having... It's hard to believe there's any here, right? Oh, my God. Rosalina accepted my invitation of coming and talking about my book, Las Imperfectas. It is always hard to talk about your own product. Like, I've been writing for others all my life. I've been, directing magazines and writing about you guys and your careers. And when it gets to promoting your own product, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's
And
extra
you're
work.
inspiring. Yeah, I
You
got
guys
a chance
read
to
her
talk
book?
to her. And
If you haven't, you need to get it and you need to read it.
Thank
I got
you.
a last event. Yes.
That's very sweet. So I just wanted to thank all of you, but especially you for coming. I know it's
my pleasure.
it's a
So happy to be
Saturday.
here. It's exciting.
Let's talk a little bit about why you bought the book yourself. She didn't even let me send it to her. She's like, I'm buying it. That's how you support each
I was
other.
like, no, I'm paying for it. Are you kidding me? I'm going to support you. I'm going to buy it. I went to the store and I bought it.
She did. And liking every post and commenting on every post. And then I said, she has to be the one with me that day.
So sweet.
She's
I'm
going to
very
be...
proud of you. Very proud of you. I've known her for so long, and as a fellow Puerto Rican, and knowing that you love to write, and it takes courage, and it takes a lot to be able to just sit down and put your ideas into paper, and then hope to God that it does well, and you have no idea how people are going to receive it, and I know this was very personal to you, so I love it. Very proud of you. I hope it's the first of many.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What do you think about the title, Las Imperfectas? What does it make you feel like, especially when you live in this world that you have a spotlight constantly on you, trying to demand perfection from you? How do you feel about that?
It means it's the truth. It's reality. People have this perception of who we are, and we try to live it up. You try to go out, look at me, full makeup and hair. I wanted to be in sneakers and sweatpants, but I'm like, no way, I can't do that because
I'm freezing.
What if I know, right? What if they ask for a picture? I have to look cute. But the reality is, no, yeah, we're all imperfect. Somos seres humanos. We get our period like everybody else. We go to the bathroom like everybody. You know what I mean? So it's
really,
yeah.
I think imperfect is beautiful as well. Don't we fall in love with imperfect people too? Like, you like those things, and you're like, I know he's weird, but he's kind of cute, right?
That's great.
I know, maybe I'm weird.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, I like en hombres scars. Cuando tienen alguna cicatriz.
I like that.
It shows life and experience. Because what happened to you?
Sexy.
where have you been?
Your nose is crooked.
What
Like
what
this.
happened? Tell me your story. It's interesting.
But it's also what makes us perfect. Our imperfections is what makes us perfect, is what makes us special. Because if we don't have those imperfections, then we're just like, like who?
A plastic doll. Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
I'm agreeing with you. It's what makes us.
My hashtag on the line is be beautiful, because I think that everybody has to embrace their own self and everybody has to be their own kind of beautiful. There's not really, I mean, social media, everybody thinks that we're just perfect because of what we post, but that's a bunch, I just like posting pretty pictures, but not because I think my life is just perfect, so everybody has imperfections and everybody has to, I think, own themselves, and that's what, like Camila said, that's what makes you perfect and beautiful.
And this is going to be a very selfish question. Any piece of advice you can give me as people that are constantly on the spotlight? Because, as the director of the magazine and all of that, I do have a little bit of that, but it's not necessarily my favorite thing about the job. Anything you can share, anything that you've done that makes you feel good about it, that makes you be like, okay, this is it. I'm doing it because it's part of the job, and I embrace it.
You start.
Oh gosh, me?
Because you guys get nervous too. I saw you all backstage.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely. We were all nervous back there.
I
We were
know.
jumping, right? We're
I
like,
don't know what people think, because sometimes people go like, I don't know, somebody that I don't know will come to the house or something, will be cleaning and cooking, and they'll be like, oh, you're cleaning, you cooking, you're picking up the dog poop. I'm like, what do you think we do? Like, I don't understand. Like everything.
You actually go to the bathroom?
I don't get it.
Un consejo, advice for Christy.
I mean, and for all of these amazing people, because I know you're blogging and you're out there and you're putting yourself out there, and there's a lot of mean people out there,
my son is the one, he's 11 years old, and he tells me, he's like, Mommy, don't read the comments. He's like, and sometimes I'll look at the comments and he'd be like, don't pay attention to the haters. Haters are going to hate. And I'm like, okay. Hey, you know what? I'm glad my 11-year-old
so
son
great.
has it going on in there.
It's
because
difficult to do that, though, because you post things, right?
that they're affected.
And you
exposed.
post things without expectations, and I do that. I'm getting better and better now. Like, I'm not going to read it. But at the beginning, when you start, you're like, I just want to see what people say. And it's wonderful when they support, and it's devastating when there's like estúpida. You know what I mean? Que te sale con un comentario que uno dice hello.
Sí, pero you have a trick.
You
You
know what I
have a
mean?
trick
It's
for that.
awful. So you have to now be like, okay, it's not personal, no me conoce,
exacto.
debe ser que está aburrida en la casa.
No ha tenido
¿Cuántos
sexo?
gatos tiene?
That just happened to me this week. I swear to
Really?
you. I put a quote on my Instagram, and I know whose quote is it, but I didn't hashtag it. I am so sorry. This woman comes to me and she, it's not Bo's quote. I'm like, who the hell put Bo's quote? I know who is it. Carrie Fisher. Hello. But I didn't. I really wanted to say that, but I said, kindly. And with a smile.
I know.
I say, oh, honey,
You know what's crazy?
thank
My
you,
mom.
but I do know, but you know
Because
what I mean?
your
mom's
I want to
crazy.
really punch her in the
My
face.
mom, I'm much better now because I've been doing it for so long. I've been in this business for 20 years. So I'm like, you develop thick skin and you're like, you know what? It's not going to affect me. I know who I am. I'm imperfect, but I'm a survivor. You know what I mean? I don't care what you say. My mom, bendito. But like, she calls me, Dios, que pusieron, mija. Hysterical.
It's the worst.
My mom has been like in a pharmacy and somebody, like there's a cover, right? And somebody will say something. She would chew them out. She doesn't care. You know what
I
mean?
think
It
it's
is
the
like,
Latina
I have to
mothers.
call
It's
as a
very
mom, you have
personal.
to stop, don't worry about
Pero
it.
tú tienes algo, you do something that I love and that I use sometimes. When she writes something and she means it and she doesn't care about what others think, tú terminas siempre el post, he dicho.
Sí.
Because I said so,
Para
you
que no
know?
jorobe.
Deal with it.
You know what I think it's a good, at least for me, which it helps me, okay? Because for me, I'm between two worlds, right? I mean, we got this thing there and we got this thing here and something in the
What is
middle.
this thing here? I think I know what it
Things
is.
of big
Hollywood.
size, and this thing, whatever. But, for me, it's, I love people. So if you can really look at people by just loving them, then it would not affect you whether they're saying something positive or negative, because all you're thinking is love. So when they're saying something positive and you're feeling love, then that's going to multiply. When they're saying something negative, but you're thinking of love, you're giving love towards their way, it's not going to go anywhere.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I don't know, I was thinking, what can I say? But that's something that has worked for me.
That's beautiful.
Muy madura, muy madura.
We're working on it.
Muy bien. No,
It's
no,
beautiful.
that's true.
No, but it's just like, it's not a thing like, oh, I'm going to really focus and meditate. It's just about you being positive and loving people, because people are going to be good and people are going to be bad. It's just the reality.
And you know what? I think like it's very true. In my experience with people, like you never know what that comes around. You have to be nice with people. Just don't be a hater. Like that person that you might discriminate one day, she might be your boss one day. And that had happened. I've seen it many times, and I feel like we're all humans. We're all in the same, we have the same, like we're in this together, guys. And so just be nice, put good energy there, and it comes back.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I want to finish with one question to each one of you, because I want to take advantage of you. And FYI, she's going to go from here. We're going to go to the Hola suite. If you guys want to come by, we're going to be giving away my book and taking pictures with everybody. So tell me one thing you love about yourself.
Just
Don't
one?
think about it. Come on.
Let me think
I
about
know
it.
it's
Just
too many.
one.
It's too many. But just say one.
No, mira, para mí, I think, to be honest, la perseverancia. I own it, and I have to say, the only reason that I've been able to sustain for so long in this business, and it's been brutal, up and down, you guys know, it's really, really, it's hard. It's just being perseverant, just knowing that it doesn't affect me. I just keep going. I know exactly what I came to America for. It doesn't affect me. I just keep going. You know what I mean? And it's just perseverancia. I have so many friends, talented, wonderful people that have tried, and they just don't make it. You know what I mean? For one reason or the other, they just go back to the island or wherever they're from, or they just go, I just don't have it in me anymore. And it's very easy to get to that point, when you're constantly trying to prove yourself. Constantly. At some point you just go, guys, you know exactly who I am, you know what I do, you know my abilities. Why do I have to keep trying? You know what I mean? So why do I have to keep convincing you that I'm right for this when I know for a fact I am? And it's brutal. So I think for me, just being perseverante, honestly, you know what I mean? Like the ups and downs, I'm just apuesto a mí.
Wow. That's why I admire you so much.
Thank you.
What do you love about yourself, Fernanda?
Oh my gosh. Getting out of my comfort zone. I like the challenge. And I do. I like the challenge. I think that's what makes me grow. And when I feel fear, that's where I go. And I'm like, no, I can do it. So I push myself. So we go with that and into many things. Yeah. And we all have that.
That's great. What about you, Ellie?
What about me? I think, and I didn't like it before because soy cabeza dura. Si se me pone algo, I'm like, I have to do it, I'm not afraid of failing, I'm afraid of not trying, so definitely that, it has definitely helped me with where I am now in this point of my life.
That's wonderful.
It's hard to say just one.
Self-confidence.
Well, I'll go with her over there, having, you just keep going. I definitely have that for, always in my life. But I'll also have to say honesty. I don't know any other way. And it's really good, but sometimes really bad. But I just don't know how to lie. I can bullshit. I can bullshit pretty good. I can bullshit my way around things pretty good, but you will know when I'm lying.
I love each one of you very much. Thank you so much for inspiring us today. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for coming, Rosaline. We will be waiting for you all at the Hola suite right here when you leave the room. You're going to see it right in front. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And thank you, Anna, and all the Wheel Grow girls.
Yes,
all the
Anna!
Yes.